Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Seekers. We meet the fourth Sunday of every month from 10 to 11 on Pacific time. And we talk about all things philosophy, religion, any kind of ancient wisdom, but particularly Vedanta, because that's what I love so much. And today it's a really special day because we have my teacher, my guru. He's the most wonderful person I know, Swami Sarvadevanandaji, and he is the head minister of the Vedanta Society of Southern California. And he is right now at the Hollywood Temple, which is where I usually go every Tuesday when there's not a pandemic. So now we've got a bunch of Zoom classes. And if you're interested in jumping on some of the YouTube classes that they have, they broadcast over YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/Vedanta.org. And I know Swami teaches every Tuesday at 4:30 and 7:30 and sometimes, a lot on Wednesday.
Lisa, if you don't sometimes find in Vedanta.org, you can go Voice of Vedanta also.
Okay, perfect. So it's Voice of Vedanta. And if you need those links too, you can go to just Vedanta.org and they have links to a lot of those things. So we had in Camarillo a monthly class in Bhakti that Swami was teaching, which unfortunately we had to forego because of the pandemic and everything. We couldn't meet in person. So I thought we would pick up that topic of Bhakti again. It's one of our favorite topics, and Swami is definitely an expert on this. So Swami, can you give people a background who may not have heard of Bhakti, of just what it is and how it fits into Vedanta?
First of all, I'm very thankful to get this opportunity to see you all. Nowadays, it has become a norm to see everyone online only. At least we see, that's thanks to technology, that we can see the face of each other and we are talking, or only not the physical presence, but virtual. Yes, it is. What is Bhakti? It is Bhakti means love. Bhakti means devotion, simple language. And Bhakti cannot be defined because we all know what is love. Love is a feeling, an emotion, which is very difficult to express in language. That's why, and when it love for God, that is called devotion. This love for God expresses in every love we have in our life. We love a flower. We do not know whom we love. But as if Lord is playing hide and seek, and Lord is pulling our attention, attracting us, and we think that flower is attracting. But no, behind that is the love of God. Some sadhu told me, as if God has created everything, and then he has sprinkled some perfume all over every object. So there is little dot of that spark of love, or that joy, or that bliss. It is everywhere, and everyone can feel that attraction, and also they can feel it in when they are not attracted, but they feel rejected. In love and hatred, in both area, it is because of the love of God. Why? Again, it's a confusing word. We know very first point is very good to understand. We are attracted to anything. That attraction is due to the presence of God there. God is love, God is bliss, God is joy, God is peace. And so everything noble and high, that is God. And that's why we feel attraction to the rising sun. The birds flying in the infinite space in the sky, the sun, moon, moonlit night, raw, beautiful flowers, in smiling faces, in baby's innocence, in everywhere there is the presence of that love. We feel attracted to the positive aspect, but also we feel rejected and dejected with certain things. That is also because of love. Love for something which I have expectation and it does not fulfill my expected goal, then I get frustrated. And then frustration becomes more strong, and then we reactionary. And reaction is called anger and bursting out in tears and all these things because of emotions. But it is all because of love for God. So that is the ultimate truth, that we live because of love. We live in love, we die in love, we cry in love, we smile in love. But we do not know it is Lord playing with us. Rabindranath Tagore has a beautiful song, তাই তোমার আনন্দ আমার পরে. Oh Lord, your bliss is reflected in me. তাই তোমার আনন্দ আমার পরে. তুমি তাই এসেছো নিচে. You have come down because of that in so many forms. And if I was not there as a playmate of you, your play would have been useless. That means I am a big part in the play of this love, which you have intentionally come down from your abode of absolute bliss to be in so many forms. And you are attracting, you are rejecting. It is a play of that love play is going on. In love, human love, we understand. There is joy, there is suffering, there is emotions, there is anger, there is frustration. All the rasa, they call rasa. Huge number of rasas are there. That all we feel, it is because of God. So as a spiritual seeker, we want to direct them all in one goal, and that goal is to see God, to see God, to feel His attraction in every actions, in every performance, in every relationship. Whatever we do, it is a play with Lord, Lord's play. It's a খেলিছো বিশ্বলয়ে বিরাট শিশু আনমনে খেলিছো. Oh Lord, you are playing. It is your play. Vishwalaya, this taking this earth, this universe, the stars and moon and planets, they are like your toys. You are playing with the toys in the cosmic role. And in individual, if you come in our day-to-day life, in our relationship, in our meeting with each other, in our all the sweet things we do in our life, or sometimes we are face dangers, it is with the love. So goal of life is to attain absolute love. We know, we understand little touch of joy, love, etc. in our day-to-day actions. We, with a good food, with a good place to go, with a good performance, when listening to beautiful music. But these are all not very permanent. It comes and it goes away. So we want how we can retain that love, that joy, that bliss with us for a longer period. That is the goal of bhakti. And that's why Bhakti Yoga in the Narada define Sa means bhakti, Satu, Asmin. Asmin means in God, in this truth. Satu Asmin, Parama Prema Rupa. Prema. Prema is the language. Bhakti is the devotion. In Sanskrit, there is prema is a different meaning, deeper love. Bhakti matures into, Ramakrishna says, prema is so intense, only avatars, only the great spiritual giants can feel that prema. Srimati, Radharani, she used to feel that prema. Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya, he was endowed with this prema. Prema means such a tremendous intensity of love, and his whole body, every pore of the body will be reacting with that. They will
Yeah.
burst out of joy everywhere,
Yeah.
unlimited joy. So that is called the bhakti turning into prema. So Ramakrishna said, bhakti matures into prema. Huh?
Okay. So
Bhakti,
let's back up just a little bit because we mentioned a few Sanskrit words that might be a little bit foreign to people, a little bit, but it sounds like we're we're playing, God's playing with us, right? And like you said, hide and seek, and it seems so fun and lighthearted to be playing hide and seek with God. And then we can find God in the flower, and we can love God in the flower. And is that is kind of the purpose of bhakti, is to see God everywhere in everything, to feel that love, but especially in other people, to know that when we love someone, it's the God within them that we love. Is that right?
yeah, yeah,
And then there's other ways in I was this is the book that we were doing, Bhakti Yoga, for our class. People were in the class, and I was going through it to kind of remember some of the things that Vivekananda was saying. And he says there's kind of a language of bhakti, um, how there are ways to love there. And it's interesting because in English we just have the word love, and then there's all different kinds of love, but it's just love. But in Sanskrit there's so many different kinds. So can you talk about the different kinds, the language of bhakti, like Shanta and Dasya and Sakya and Vatsalya and Madhura? And these are all different ways that we can express our love for God.
yeah. And they say that these are moods. There are five major ideas. That there are five moods. So how you love and express your love, that is in five moods. Normal human relationship, like a friend, sakya, friendship. One friend loves another friend. So this love, who is standing behind this love? It is God here, God there, in two costumes. Shakya is a friendship.
Kind
But
of like Arjuna and Krishna, right?
Shakya will be Arjuna Krishna, and Dasya will be Dasya is the servant, master and the servant attitude. The master, who is master? Master is a Hanumanji used to think Ram the master. Hanumanji is the disciple. And his whole life is dedicated to Rama. And Hanumanji does not understand anything but Rama. Rama, Rama, Rama. Huh? And one time that story, that Mother Janaki, being pleased, gave her beautiful uh, necklace of jewel made of jewels, pearls. And immediately getting that, Hanuman observed like this and started chewing it, and then break it and throw away. And then Ma was very upset, and she said ridiculously, "This is a monkey. What he understands about the value of pearls?" And then she asked, "Why are you throwing away, cutting and throwing away these pearls?" "Because I am seeing whether there is Rama and Sita or not." He said, "Oh, you see Rama and Sita, then only other you discard everything." Well, he says, "I have this attitude of discarding everything, only Rama and Sita." Well, okay, so you are holding your body. This body is made of flesh and bone and all this. Is there Rama and Sita there? Well, yes. That's why you find that he's opening the chest, and there you see the Rama and Sita. And actually, even when Rama was pleased to show his divine form as Narayana. Narayana comes down in form of Rama, Krishna. That is the idea. Narayana is four-armed, the god of Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. So Garuda was Vishnu Bhakta. Yeah, here is also relationship, master and servant. So he thought Vishnu, he's showing his Vishnu form. He agreed, Rama agreed with the prayer of Garuda. And then he was happy. He wanted to run to tell Hanumanji, Hanumanji, please come, come. The Lord is so pleased to show Rama is not Rama. He is the Lord Narayana. Huh? And he has agreed to show that divine form. Come, come. And then when he came, he said, no, I'm not interested in seeing your other form. I only am attached to Rama and Rama. I don't want to see your Narayana form at all. And then actually with the big wings, Garuda have to cover when Rama was showing his divine form, Narayana with four arms and all divine form. He has to cover it, lest Hanumanji gets angry. He does not want to see it. That's called, but God is there, but it is for me. That's why their famous statement, Srinathe Janaki Nathe Abheda Paramatmani. I know Sri means Mother Lakshmi. Lakshmi is husband, the Narayana in the heaven. And Janaki Nath, Janaki Sita. Sita's husband is Rama. Abheda, they're one and the same. I know that philosophically. I know Abheda Parama. And they're Paramatman. Only one Paramatman. Tathapi, still yet, Mama Sarvasya, my everything is Rama. Kamalalochana, with lotus eyed Rama is my only God. So so this is called the Dasya Bhava. The Shakya Bhava is Hanuman, Arjuna and Krishna. Dasya Bhava is this example of Rama and Hanumanji or Garuda or Ramji with Narayana attitude. Santa Dasya Shakya. Santa is the attitude of the monastics. They want to see God everywhere. That should be there. Shanta means no excitement, no emotion. Here is something more, Ajay. Hanumanji is more for Rama. I don't want to see. There is emotion. No, I don't want to see there. Only this form is for me. So this is, though it is only for God and God only, but still you see the difference between this. They don't want to see any other form because this is my only Ishta and I will be holding on to that. And there comes fanaticism sometimes and in the religious traditions. But you have to understand the intensity there. Their mind is so intensely focused. So we can see God like Santova with the monastic attitude, as I said, everywhere to see the God is everywhere. So love everyone equally, see the manifestation of the divine and be in calm. No mental emotions, no mental reactions, too much high and low. In all these relationships, there is high and low. Santo, Daso, Shakya, Vatsalya also, son, child, and mother. That's mother's feeling for the child. Mother day and night. There are so many children of the same group. But you look at that. If mother has one baby of her own, and another baby is also triple, the motherly affection is there for the other children also. But high emotion is for their own child. So God is my child. I am to take care. Say baby Gopala, baby Rama. It is very much worshipped in Hindu homes.
Yeah.
So
And baby Jesus in Christian.
baby Jesus in the Christian world. So, but they can love only Jesus or only Rama or only what you call the Krishna, Gopala. But who is worshipping Gopala? Rama will not be adored there so much. Rama, no God, they will salute and do, but special affection and dealing will go on. So this is the special relationship according to the attitude. So we have to understand nothing is higher and lower. In devotion, there will be duality. And in that duality, there will be this difference. But we have to understand this difference does not actually ultimately damage their spirituality, but those who are not raised to that flight of love, they will only fight with differences. That's
Right.
why Krishna devotees will fight with Rama devotees, and Christ devotees will fight with the Hindu devotees. Hindu devotees will fight with the Christ devotees. So this is the ignorant part of devotion. But in matured state of bhakti, one-pointed love with any attitude you like, that is the deepest stage, one by one, and can go. Perfect idea is that you become one with your beloved. That is the Madhura Bhava. Madhura Bhava as in human relationship. Madhura Bhava is the loving relationship of union with husband and wife. Similarly, it is a higher value. The body is not functioning. It's the mind merging into the mind of the cosmic mind. Individual mind loving the cosmic mind as Krishna. He is my pati, he is my husband, and I am only, he is my beloved. And only all are women there in that spiritual attitude in Vrindavan. If we go, there is only one man, that is Krishna. That means the Purusha, and that's a Prakriti attitude. And my everything, Mamo Sarvasya, Rama Kamalalochana. My everything is Rama Kamalalochana. So that is the relationship. So according to the preponderance of one's mental attitude, one can choose any of the relationship and then can reach God. And these are methods, bhava.
Yeah. Where does it come in about loving God as a parent, like loving God the Father or God the Mother? How does that come in?
It is called the same attitude when the child and mother relationship
Okay,
I gave. That is the same. You turn it opposite way.
I
God
see.
is my father. I am his child, and or I am the mother. I am the father. God is the baby. So both aspects can be with the dealing with the same Lord.
I see.
Mm.
Okay, good. And you also mentioned Ishta Deva. So let's talk a little bit about that, about how people have this chosen ideal about God and how that relationship builds and how we find our own Ishta Deva.
Normally, everyone has a tendency. See, someone is inclined for Krishna temple. There is a Shiva temple, but his mind is more inclined into Krishna. Or someone is there in the same now in America, in the same temple we find all types of gods and goddess deities are kept. But there you'll find, I have gone to many Hindu temples, that go, they salute other temples. But they go, if they're Ram devotee, they go to the Ram temple and pray there, sit there, chant there, Rama, what you call Ram Nam, or some other chants of Rama's praise, and do all the rituals and prayer there and offer flute, flower. Others, they go, maybe little saluting, saluting, saluting. Ramakrishna talked about this. It is called, a girl is married to a boy in some husband's family. So what happens? Everyone, the woman has a relationship with everyone. One is mother-in-law, one is father-in-law, one is sister-in-law, one is brother-in-law. But he has a special relationship with his husband, her husband. So this is the Ishta, our chosen ideal. All are there, but my mind inclines for only Rama, or for Ramakrishna, or for Christ, or for Shiva, or for Makali, or for Ma Durga. That's why Vedanta reconciles that. It is very simple. God, uh, only to please the devotees, the same God wears different costumes.
Mm.
Ah, as the child wants. Mom, someone calls God as mom. So God has to wear the dress of a mother and appear as Makali. Ramakrishna called as Makali, Makali. No? But if you really go to the philosophy of all ideas, they will be saying that everything has come from Hanumanji. Even Hanuman is a Rama's devotee, But when you go to Hanuman Chalisa and go to understand more of Hanumanji, Hanuman can give everything: power, strength, spirituality, wisdom, knowledge, and you get everything. So they're thinking Brahman at manifesting through Hanumanji. This is the background of all spiritual traditions in India. So if that's why Vedanta is very important there. Only reconciling factor is Vedanta.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people will always fight my versus yours. So here, who will be my chosen ideal? You will decide yourself. And or if you cannot, for you, your teacher will decide.
Mhm.
The ideal is that, yes, you may be inclined in one. Why are you inclined? There is a suggestion, there is a reason. The reason is this. It says that you are in a, we Hindus believe in rebirth again and again. So in previous birth, you may have practiced certain disciplines that has made a deep uh, impression in your mind, called the sanskaras. Sanskaras are deep impression. So deep impression you have, and because of the deep impression, you are bound to think that way of the past life's action. So in this birth, you get a little inclined that way and you mature. That will be your easy way, because everyone becoming coming out of the infinite ocean of love and joy, which is called Satchidananda. So what matters? You go to the Rama form, you will reach the same. You go to the Krishna form, you reach the same ocean. You go to Christ form, go. Ma Kali form, you go there. So that is the point. Path may be different. No, see how many you go to GPS. GPS gives you 2, 3 alternatives. You can ask for them. But what you will choose, it is your choice. What you choose, you think, oh, this is scenic route. Okay, I will take this. Load time takes more longer. I don't care for that. Okay, you choose that. That's a chosen path, a chosen ideal. But ideal is to reach ultimately God, and God the absolute, and God the in the name and form. Dualistic worship is always God with name and form, but they don't want to merge with that, but they merge. When Srimati used to go in ecstasy, lose herself, everything, and she is in samadhi. Ramakrishna is the modern example. When he is absorbed in any mood, he goes to samadhi. That means he's going touching the base of the ground of these forms. That's the infinite ocean. Where is the bliss, absolute bliss. But when he comes down, he said, oh, mother, don't make me totally drown there. I want to enjoy with devotees, bhakti bhakta. That's why he tries to come back, pulls himself a little bit backward, so that he can, through the image, whom he called as Mother Kali, is the same. Kali Brahma, Jene Marma. Kali and Brahman are not too different for Ramakrishna. But still, he wants to separate a little bit and then live in this consciousness and show us how intoxication can be, you may be intoxicated when
Right.
you like
And the bhakti is like the perfect tool for that. So
it.
to summarize a little bit, and you tell me if this is correct,
Yeah.
Brahman is so universal
Mm.
that it's difficult for us as in this human form to grasp onto anything. And
Mm.
so Brahman kind of manifests as these different personalities, and we may be more attracted to one or the other based on our past lives or our family history or just our personality or whatever. And so we may become a Krishna devotee or a Christ devotee or a Rama devotee, Shiva devotee, but that Ishadeva represents the whole of Brahman and can help us to self-realize and to help us to get enlightened. It's a doorway to the higher knowledge that we're seeking. Is that right?
And this is very important point. Everyone should be careful about that. That only point is that we are worshipping one God. Only that all the fight in religion has come. My path is the highest path. Because true, you are saying true. You are following Rama path, you are Christ devotee. You are worshipping Christ. Good. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, I don't want to make a Christian a Hindu, or a Hindu a Buddhist, or Buddhist a Christian. Nothing. Be a better Hindu, be a better Christian. That's the point. So your path of love, you intensify it and see what for yourself. Why are you fighting with others? Why not see your path fully and understand how your chosen ideal, your liking of the heart, your emotions is normally drawn, leads you to the same destination as it has taken all other people in the world. So, what a great blessings that Ramakrishna came and depicted in his life, that yes, mother cooks, that is the example Ramakrishna gave. Mother cooks fish for the children, but one child likes fried fish. Mom makes some fried fish, and someone maybe soup, someone maybe spice something, but it is the fish. According to the taste, if you give a food, you serve a food, according to my taste, I will relish it. It will nurture my body, as also I will relish it. But if you give something, it may be say good for my body, but I don't relish it. I will not have that much inclination to have it again. But if really a spiritual person follows this path, that yes, according to my taste, it is easy for me to go. So that's why paths are not to be criticized. Shanto mood, or your friendship mood, or the mother-child relationship, or the child-father relationship, whatever attitude we take, these are according to our taste and temperament. But we should be very clear that not to look up and down, look down upon anybody and think mine is the higher than yours. Yes, yours is higher, you can say, when actually you realize the truth. Before that, you have no authority to say anything. You are only a student, and you cannot say that mine is higher, yours is lower. This for
And
that's
bhakti is something we can all understand because we all have experienced love in this life, whether it's love for our parent or love for our family, our spouse, our child, our pets, whatever it is, our love for our profession. We understand what love is. There's a story about the mangoes. Can you tell that story, Swami, about eating the mango?
that means bhakti is sweetness. Bhakti is to enjoy. Ah, even the path is sweet. When you follow the path of bhakti, this path is also sweet. You follow the path of jnana, it may appear a little dry, because and then give up this, give up that. This is not God, that is not God, because that is the path of knowledge, because that is really not God. The flower is not God, but flower represents God's beauty. So that's a different thing. Then God becomes infinite. Only through the flower it is manifesting, and other things also. So this is, we miss the eating the sweet mango. We only go to the mango grove and go on discussing who has brought this mango plant, who has planted in which year, why the tree is so lean, it needs some fertilizer. Why talking so much? There are mangoes are hanging, just bite it and choose, experience the joy of this spiritual practice. So bhakti itself, path is also joyful, and end also joyful. But also, bhakti is not joyful. There is also pangs of separation. When you go to that love, we have no love for God, that's why you don't understand the pangs of separation. But if you love really genuinely, then you will feel how much joy it brings. Of course, it is in Vaishnava literature, it is said that it is suffering, it appears from outside. But that person who is really feeling the pangs of separation, they're holding the Lord more intimately, more closely, every bit of second. So he's totally tuned in one sense. But that is there physically, there is separate. Ramakrishna is to roll down in the floor. The whole body will be purging with pain. because the separation anxiety. So this is a very important thing which people who are in the world can adapt this easily, but not talking. Rather, you are a bhakta. Let your face shine that. You enjoy the sweetness of love every day in your prayer. When you pray, really let one or two drops of tears roll down your cheeks and let your face shine with beauty and grace.
Yes.
You know? So
Yes.
that is the eating the mango. Ramakrishna
Yes.
said, don't count the mango trees and leaves and branches. Rather, you try to eat the mango when you are in the
Right.
mango garden.
And Vivekananda talked in the book about some ways that we can develop the qualities of bhakta. And one of them was Sangha, which is kind of like what we're doing right now, a gathering of like-minded people to talk about God. So can you talk about why that is good for us?
Yeah, that is very important. Sangha, Satsanga. It is called Satsanga. Satsanga, Narada Bhakti Sutra we are reading. You can join that Narada Bhakti Sutra also every Tuesday at 4:30. We do that class. And there we read the Naradas according to Swami Prabhupada, this book we are now reading. And there we'll find that uh, um, that this practice. Uh, what is the question? I forgot. What?
Why is satsang is so beneficial for us?
See, that's why they are emphasizing satsanga. It is very important that one should have satsanga. No, that sangha association is always spiritually benefiting. Why? Spiritually benefiting means a person who loves music. He will love to be with musician, talk about music. It's a subject of his own choice. It will fill one's heart with joy. So satsanga will keep us in touch with Sat. Say
Truth.
we are talking about maybe almost 45 minutes now. So where is our mind now? We are
It's on
thinking of
bhakti
God.
and God. Yeah.
God. So had it not been this, suppose you are not in this class and you have your own other things, where will be your mind then? Naturally with your own other things distracted. Though you know everything, we all know the spiritual life is this, you have to see God everywhere. But when you are talking, it is what is helping. It is rekindling the thought which I had, and it is making me more move towards God, incline my mental inclination to be a devotee, good devotee. That idea comes. That
Yeah.
I am spending a life of misery. I can make it joyful if I think that God, my beloved Lord, is in the heart of everyone. And then I do. So satsanga, as in asatsanga. Asatsanga means unholy association. Uh, if someone goes to a unholy association, unholy thoughts will be gaining into the heart, and unholy reactions will come. Their reactions with how they react with people, how they react with other um, in everywhere in their work field, in their personal life, in their home front, that will manifest. So
Yeah.
satsanga says satsangas to durlava, but real holy company is durlava. It is very rare because only God intoxicated people or those who love God, they will be sharing your thoughts. But if they are not, if you talk about God, they will be angry with you. Suppose there are so many friends of your life, if you talk too much about God, they will reject you because they don't relish that association.
Mhm.
That's why satsanga is to be very rare. That's why it's called rare. Narada says satsangas to durlava. Durlava means rare. And then, but durlava or amogha, but its effect is tremendous effect.
Yeah, I think especially when people first get on the spiritual path, it can feel kind of lonely because you don't you don't necessarily want to be around the friends that you've had before, because they're all into going out and partying and drinking, and you just don't feel that inclined to do that anymore. You'd rather be home reading a book, or taking a class online, watching YouTube videos about Ramakrishna and stuff. So I think that's really important. And I'm really grateful to the Vedanta Society for it, even though we've been like shut out because of the pandemic. It's opened up a whole new world online where we can meet like this. And I think my class attendance has gone up like tenfold, because it's just so easy to hop on a class almost every single day. So it's been really wonderful. Another way that Vivekananda says is to develop the qualities of a bhakta is controlling our passions.
Mhm.
So can you talk about that a little bit?
Mm. Yeah, because it is our mind always goes in this sensate universe. That's true, but that should be deified. It should be deified. That you release the food. That's the beauty of Bhakti Yoga. You release the food. You are eating, but you add God into the picture. Not that you are eating only. You say, "Oh Lord, please have it," and then try to think that I'm taking the prasad. So what a good feeling. That is the beauty of sensate. You cannot cut the sensate attractions and things. That's the worldly thing. It will have so long the body will be there. But you can deify that. Vedanta says for monks, those who are strong Vedanta, they will have to say, not this, not that, not that, not that. With a sword, very sharp sword to cut it. No anything, no emotion, nothing. Cut this Maya, this is ignorance. This will lead you to more ignorance. Get out, not this, not this. Atman is the only truth. No, that is the sharp razor's path. Bhakti is mending that same spirit. Result will come the same, but in a very soothing way. Transition is very soothing. You eat good food, but you offer, or if you are a little developed, more developed, then you will see that you are eating something, think that the Lord is in your heart, you are feeding him. You are not eating. So you are eating. Your body will be nurtured. But the taste you get will be lessened. You will think that it is the Lord's taste. Lord is tasting this. Uh, so you want a beautiful flower, enjoy that. But only see, wow, what a beauty of the presence of God here. So you enjoy everything, five senses, not to cut asunder, but utilize them. Ramakrishna said, deify. Huh?
Yeah, that's
Deify.
good. I love that, because even eating, it can be like I'm feeding God, and taking in the vitamins and the nourishment that the body needs, because I need this body, this vessel to realize God. So it's all about God. Another thing that Vivekananda mentions in the book is about purity. And he defined purity as forgiveness, as putting love first, which I think is so important for us, especially in this day and age when we carry a lot of grievances with us. So, can you talk a little bit about how do we develop this purity?
Yeah, purity is God is purity only. And uh, unless one develops into the God consciousness, that purity will not develop. Impure, everything is impure. Hatred is impure, jealousy is impure. But these are all, we get stuck into it because we don't think God there. If we can put God into our equation and in our practice, then this naturally will come. That to um, purity will be developed, and actually by this seeing God, thinking of God, what happens? Our mind becomes purer and purer, and in the pure heart only God can manifest. So it is all the chitta suddhi. And the scriptures say chitta suddhi in the Raja Yoga, chitta suddhi, purification of the chitta, mind stuff. Buddhi suddhi, Vedanta will say buddhi suddhi. Buddhi, and our understanding should be clear. understanding about the world is matter. No, it is all God's creation. God is everywhere. So this type of idea should be taken again and again, so that mind becomes purified. And then
Right.
this type of differences will go away.
Yeah. And so it's not just what you think about something, but how you think about it a little bit and bringing it all back to God, you
Uh,
know. And I think in forgiveness, it would be, you know, like Jesus says, forgive them, they know not what they do. You could, you know, think of it in that way. Think of it as, even though this person is driving me crazy and seems so angry, there is still God within that person.
That I
So,
said at the very beginning, God may be in a positive way, God may be in a negative way. When you are feeling rejected by somebody, dejected by somebody, or very arrogant, impossible to act, there is also presence of God. That's why it is happening. We don't do it a dead body. We do it somebody where there is the presence of God more palpable. So this and uh, how to practice in such a way that our consciousness remains in the higher plane. That's the purity. Purity is a very, people may think eating good food, one type of food, other type of food. That's true. That maybe there is much impact on that also. But more impact is that this philosophical outlook of looking at the world, and whether someone I have a good
yeah,
relation, or I have a very sweet term, or a very bitter one. But or at least from a distance mentally to think, here is also presence of God. But God is manifesting because of the dirt and dust, manifesting in a negative way. So
right.
it is God, it is God, it is God.
Right. That's good. Well, I want to leave some time for questions and answers. If anyone has any question, then you can go raise your hand in the participants window, or you can write it in the chat. So just let me know. I know Buzz usually has some questions. Buzz has good questions, so feel free to jump in there, Buzz, or you can just unmute yourself. There's not that many of us.
Nothing, no questions today. It all made sense. So
Thank you.
Thank you, Buzz.
put me
Thank
into that
you.
mindset of being here with everyone and everything, and that's going to move us forward.
Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Swami. Yes.
Pamela.
Yes. I am just, I ditto with Buzz. It all made with what clarity. Thank you. And it's just so wonderful to hear your voice and be in your presence. That's it. And I'm going to start when I can. I'm going to be on Tuesdays.
Oh yeah, Tuesday. Even if you miss the day, you can go back any day. They are all
Oh,
recorded on that channel. Previous talks are there.
okay.
Last
Thank you so much.
last
I can
week,
catch
last
up.
we started all these. Whenever we started that serially, it is there. You can take a book of Swami Prabhupada if you want to read and match with it. But it will be good that to study, and he brings more examples from Christianity. Some that's a good thing to read that. And if you read yourself, you will be much more benefited.
That's good. And Swami, we have one question in the chat. Is it selfish to love myself?
Hmm. Selfish, yeah. Love myself in what sense? If I think of me only, exclusive of all, that's not good. In any spiritual path, unselfishness is God. Forget yourself. You are nothing. You are somebody to help others. So ultimately, you look at that. Look at that. What is God? I do not know God, but we can look at Christ. What he did, he didn't never thought of himself, his body, how to procure his food and nourishment and this. Look at Ramakrishna. He never looked after his body. Buddha, he didn't look after himself. All the saints, they only think of others' goods, other how the benefit will come to them. But does not mean that you will not be taking care of your health. It is a vehicle. It is a great instrument. Without this body, how will you meditate? How will you put the question? How will you think? So it is a blessed opportunity God has given, but we have to utilize it in perfect manner. But at the same time, only me. Uh, that is dangerous for even living in the household. If husband becomes so selfish and never thinks of anything but himself, the wife becomes so selfish and only thinks of herself. Not of the daughter, not of the son, not of anybody, not of the. So forget about spirituality. It is not spirituality. It is worldliness. It is stark, what you call, selfishness, brutality. So this is to be understood. Spirituality makes everyone unselfish. Does not mean also that you'll be totally ignoring your body's needs and necessities and taking care, good sleep, good food, whatever is needed, because it is a vehicle. Your engine, your car. You must have to keep the car to get back your service to you. You should have to maintain the car. If you don't maintain the car and the tire is already gone, it may bust anywhere, and then your engine line is not becoming troublesome, and then ignition is not working. Okay, let me drive the car. So that type of bad feeling is not spiritual also. That is not non-spiritual feeling. So we should be both sides balanced. But unselfishness is the ground of spirituality. But if you think I am Atman, or I am Lord's child, that identity you hold on more and more, that is not selfishness. When you bring God, it becomes unselfish. And if you bring God, you cannot self only think I am here and no one is there. That's a
Very good.
wrong interpretation of this.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, anyone else? Last chance.
Ivan, I see Ivan. You have any question? Wonderful to see you both. So
This is great.
thank you to see you.
Great. So Swami, you want to do a chant to chant us out here?
Chant ending.
Yes.
Okay. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. I offer everything at the lotus feet of Sri Ramakrishna. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Swami. And thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you all.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing everybody.